Every helicopter on this list does the same thing. It takes off vertically, flies somewhere, and lands without needing a runway. The only thing that changes between the $300,000 one and the $27 million one is who decides where and when. Level 1. The Robinson R44. Approximately $375,000 to $700,000. The Robinson R44 is the best-selling piston helicopter in history, and the entry point for anyone who has concluded that owning a helicopter is a reasonable thing to do. It seats 4. Cruises around 130 miles per hour. The annual operating cost for an R44 flying 200 hours runs approximately $100,000 to $200,000. That is meaningful money. It is also the kind of meaningful that a business owner in his 40s can run against the commute he is eliminating and arrive at a number that is, in his accounting, close enough to justify. The buyer here is that business owner. He lives 45 minutes from the airport by road and 9 minutes by air. He ran the spreadsheet 6 different ways. The spreadsheet kept saying the same thing. He bought the helicopter and has been slightly insufferable about it at every social occasion since. From here, the single engine becomes 2, and everything changes about what the aircraft can be asked to do. Level 2. The Airbus H130/Bell407GXI. Approximately $2.5 million to $4 million. The Airbus H130 starts around $3.3 million. The Bell 407 GXI runs $3.3 to $3.5 million. Both are built for executive transport, high-altitude operations, and the kind of scenic flying that charges $800 a seat and still has a wait list in the summer months. At this level, Airbus Corporate Helicopters offers what it calls ACH conversions, bespoke interior packages that add 20 to 50% to the base price. You are now buying a platform that a designer has spent weeks on, not a configuration that came off a production line. The seats are different. The noise insulation has been treated. The Bell 407 is also one of the few civilian helicopters with an operational ceiling above 20,000 feet, which qualifies it for Himalayan approaches and Andean operations that eliminate most competing aircraft before the conversation starts. The physics of rotor lift in thin air are not forgiving to underpowered machines. The buyer here is the chairman of a regional group. He needs the aircraft ready at 7 a.m. He does not need it to make a statement. He needs it to be there. Level 3. The Leonardo AW109 Grand New/Versace Edition. The Versace Edition, the Grand New with a handcrafted interior by Versace, Versace exterior livery, and cabin materials that exist in no other context, is the most recognizable helicopter on any helipad to anyone who understands the category. Its recognizability is not incidental to the purchase. For a meaningful share of the buyers at this level, recognizability is the purchase. The collector edition argument at this level has real financial substance. The AW109 Versace is a limited run. The standard Grand New continues in production. When one is discontinued and the other is not, the resale market for the limited run tends to hold. Buyers of fashion-branded aircraft frequently find that the collaboration holds value differently from the base model, which is either a sophisticated investment thesis or a very expensive way to enjoy Italian craftsmanship at altitude. The buyer here already owns the bag and the car. The helicopter was the next natural question. Level 4. The Airbus ACH160/Leonardo AW139. $12 million to $17 million. The ACH160 starts at approximately $14 to $15 million. AW139 reaches $14 million and above in VIP configuration. These are the first helicopters on this list that a head of state security detail evaluates without immediately requesting a different aircraft. The ACH160 uses Blue Edge rotor blade technology, An Airbus development that produces a measurably quieter rotor signature than any competing blade of comparable size. Quieter rotors are a comfort feature. The AW139 is the most widely deployed corporate VIP helicopter globally. Offshore energy platforms, medical evacuation services, government transport, and private ownership coexist in its production run because the airframe handles all of it adequately and most of it exceptionally. In VIP configuration, the cabin is large enough to hold a meeting without anyone raising their voice, which is either a luxury feature or a basic professional requirement depending on what the meeting is about. The buyer at this level has a flight operations team. He does not know the tail number. His director of aviation knows the tail number, the maintenance history, the crew rotation schedule, and the fuel card PIN. In 2026, the global helicopter market is valued at approximately $90.8 billion. The VIP segment is growing at roughly 6% annually. New helicopter delivery lead times across North America and Europe currently run 18 to 36 months for popular models. The heavy twin-engine category, which contains most of the aircraft in the top 3 levels of this video, hit a 5-year pricing high in early 2026, while pre-owned prices across the market rose approximately 10% year over year. 3 levels left. One of those aircraft is currently the President's helicopter. Level 5, the Sikorsky S-92 Executive/Bentley Edition, $12 to $15 million. The aircraft that Fortune 500 corporate flight departments order when they need something that will not embarrass them at any destination, on any continent, in any weather condition. Bentley partnered with Sikorsky to produce a special edition S-76C with Bentley Mulliner interior detailing. The result was the predictable outcome of pairing 2 institutions that share a commitment to hand-stitched leather, precision instruments, and clients who do not negotiate on specification. If you own the Bentayga, the helicopter is the part of the story that closes the sequence. The S-76D holds up to 8 passengers in executive configuration and is certified to safety standards that make it simultaneously appropriate for offshore oil platform operations, search and rescue missions, and high-net-worth private transport. These are not competing use cases in the eyes of the certification bodies. They are evidence that the aircraft was built to survive the kind of decisions that most aircraft are not asked to face. Level 6. The Bell 525/Airbus H225, approximately $15 million to $20 million. The Bell 525 has the largest passenger cabin of any commercial helicopter in its class. Full stand-up headroom across the entire interior, a flat floor, the ability to reconfigure the cabin as a boardroom, a bedroom, or a lounge without the architectural compromises that smaller airframes impose on designers. The H225, successor to the Super Puma, can carry more than 20 passengers. In utility configuration, in VIP trim, that same airframe produces one of the most spacious helicopter interiors available at any price point. Its range exceeds 550 nautical miles. The buyer here does not say he owns a helicopter. He says he has a rotary wing asset in his transportation portfolio. The distinction is not vanity. It is the specific language his aviation insurance policy requires. Level 7. The Sikorsky S-92 Executive, $27 million plus. The Sikorsky S-92 Executive is the most capable, most expensive, and most politically consequential civilian helicopter in production. It is also, in a modified version, Marine One, the aircraft that carries the President of the United States. In 2014, the U.S. Navy selected the S-92 variant as the replacement for the aging presidential fleet. The private version holds up to 10 passengers in a stand-up cabin with 14 oversized windows, a private lavatory, reclining leather seats, and high-speed connectivity. Optional armored configurations are available, which is a sentence that raises questions a specification sheet does not answer. Here is the inversion that closes this hierarchy. Every helicopter on this list takes off vertically and lands without a runway. Only one parks on the White House lawn.